Let's talk Pokemon!
Hey guys, this is Let's Talk episode 4. Today let's talk about a big name in gaming right now. Pokemon. In case you guys didn't know, Pokemon X and Y came out last Saturday. So far I've only gotten to beat Professor Sycamore the first time meeting him. I'm not a hardcore Poke fan, but I've decided to take time training my Pokemon and letting them grow. More on Pokemon X and Y later, but first, let's talk about the franchise in general. Now, if you don't know about Pokemon, then obviously you have been living under a rock. No, I'm kidding, don't take that seriously. Pokemon is Nintendo's multi-million-dollar franchise of collecting, battling, trading, and interacting with hundreds of creatures of the same name found around the world. Over 600 the last time I checked. I estimate that by now the franchise has sold hundreds of millions of copies of each of their main RPG games for handhelds. Maybe even more. What's important to know about Pokemon is that 1. It's crazy popular, 2. It's crazy fun, and 3. It's crazy addicting. It's so popular that it's expanded to all different kinds of media. The main RPG games, spin-off games, a trading card game, toys and action figures, even breakfast cereal. You don't believe me? This is what Pokemon breakfast cereal was. It's discontinued now, but all I can say is that you'll only want to buy the cereal for it just being Pokemon. I remember having a box of it when I was little. It really wasn't anything too different from other cereals like Lucky Charms. It's just sheer geekery. One big part of Pokemon has always been the Pokemon anime. The last season of Pokemon that I remember watching was Pokemon Advanced Battle. Things have really changed over the years for the Pokemon anime. I think mainly because of how today's entertainment standards have changed and evolved over time. I can understand Pokemon Advanced Challenge, and Pokemon Advanced Battle, but isn't it weird that the latest seasons of the Pokemon anime are literally named after the main RPG games? I mean, come on, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, Pokemon Black and White, and now Pokemon the series XY. I can name a few reasons why I stopped watching the Pokemon anime. 1, I just didn't have the time for it. For another, I would say that it kept being less and less cool. I've only watched one episode of Pokemon Black and White online, and I can say that right off the bat, one thing that I just don't like about that season is what happens to Sillin, a gym leader from Striaton City. Since all 3 gym leaders from the Striaton City gym are waiters, then Sillin is just given pun after pun on cooking and food. It's just horrible. If the producers of this cartoon want to maintain the audience that they've had over the years, that I would have had characters like Sillin to hold back a little on the cheesy jokes. But to keep things short, I'll say this. During the time that I watched the anime, the one thing about the anime that I loved even more than the anime itself was the theme songs. All the theme songs, from the song for the first season of Pokemon up to Pokemon Advanced Battle, they have always given me nostalgia chills every time I listen to them. Being the very best has always been a recurring theme of the theme songs and the anime itself. Here's some advice. Listen to the Pokemon theme songs not to sing along, but to really take in the lyrics and their full meaning. What do these lyrics stand for when it comes to Pokemon? Take for example the first verse for the first Pokemon theme song. I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. That verse alone encompasses everything that Pokemon is all about. Need I see more? Hey guys, so this is something that I forgot to mention earlier. Do you remember in the season of Pokemon Advanced Challenge, they introduced something called Pokemon Trainer's Choice? So instead of showing the audience a silhouette of a Pokemon and having them try and identify it, instead, they give you 3 choices of Pokemon, and they would say something like, trainers, which of these evolves into something something, or trainers, which of these Pokemon is the best choice to battle something something? If you ask me, that Who's That Pokemon segment is kind of easy. because if you know your Pokemon, then you already know what Pokemon they're trying to show. Now I'm pretty sure that everybody else who watched the anime can relate to me too. But whoever came up with the questions and answers to this Trainer's Choice segment should have gotten their facts straight. Just a few minutes ago, I watched one instance of Pokemon Trainer's Choice on YouTube, and according to that instance, Arbok evolves into Seviper. No, it does not. It's just something that I want to point out. And of course, if you love the Pokemon anime, then you also love the Pokemon movies. I've only watched 2 Pokemon movies. The first one was, of course, Pokemon the first movie, which featured Mewtwo and Mew, and Pokemon the movie 2000, which featured Lugia. If you ask me, I think both of these movies were really well done according to the standards of the day. But just like the Pokemon cereal that I mentioned earlier, the Pokemon movies are just sheer geekery. Anybody else who has not immersed themselves in Pokemon enough will not understand what's going on, and they will not like the movies. Now, if you don't mind, let me briefly touch the Pokemon trading card game. I never really took the time to understand playing the game, so I got these cards only because I wanted to collect them. I have an Unknown, I have a Shelder, I have a Skull Fossil, I have a Bidoof, Slacking, Togetic. It's weird. Can you believe it? Some of the Pokemon featured in this card game don't even have the right elements that match. Togetic is normal, isn't it? Not water. Let's see, what else? Ooh, Pichu. A Nidoran male that's dark. Sandshrew. A fighting type Sandshrew. A rock type Lediba. Quilava. Pupitar. A fighting type Pupitar. Barboach. Sandslash that's fighting type. Finneon. Horsey. That's fighting type. Horsey is a water type, not a fighting type. A psychic type Quilava, and Switch. Oh, I get it now. Some of the Pokemon that don't have matching types, they actually turn out to be something called Delta species. So that's why you have different types of Pokemon here. But seriously, I have never heard of a fighting type Sandshrew, Sandslash, and Pupitar. Oh yeah, if I could just interrupt a bit, guys. If you're like me and you loved watching Kids WB on Saturday mornings, then you may remember the Pokécard Creator Contest of 2004. It was basically a contest where kids can submit an original artwork of 5 pre-selected Pokemon, and 5 grand prize winners had their artwork appear on actual Pokemon cards. As you can see, entries were original artwork of Pikachu, Wurmple, Trico, the one I entered for, Torchic, and Mudkip. I don't know where the cards are now. However, I wasn't a grand prize winner, but one of 100 or 500 first place winners who got a pack of the winning entries. Isn't it wonderful that I have kept this wrapper after all these years? Anyway, it's just a piece of nostalgic trivia I wanted to throw out there. So now where was I? Oh yeah. Now I'll get to the main Pokemon games soon, but let's just get the Pokemon spin-off games out of the way first. Nintendo is yet again another company who's working hard to capitalize on their popular brand, in this case Pokemon. So we get all these Pokemon spin-off games. I've only played a few of them, along with demos for 2 other ones. One spin-off that me and my brother really enjoyed playing was Pokemon Pinball for the Game Boy Color. It's fast-paced and it takes a lot of dexterity and skill just like regular pinball. The same for Pokemon Puzzle League for the N64, although I didn't get what was going on, and my brother Patrick played it more often than I did and eventually beat it. Oh yeah, and there was also Pokemon Snap for N64 where you take pictures of Pokemon on an island. And who could forget the Pokemon Stadium games for the N64? Those were awesome. And now the 2 demos that I played. One was for Pokemon Rumble for WiiWare. I've always wanted a Pokemon game, main RPG series or not, that let your Pokemon battle in real time, just like in the anime, and not turn-based strategy style. Unfortunately, you won't find it in the Pokemon Rumble series, nor can you find it in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I played through the demo for Gates to Infinity for 3DS, and after that, I just think that Mystery Dungeon just isn't very exciting. Alright, now let's talk about the main Pokemon RPG series. There's one issue that I would especially like to bring up, and this is one issue that I've always had with such Pokemon games. This is probably a personal issue, but whenever 2 new Pokemon games come out, like Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, and most recently X and Y, I seem to end up with the less popular version. Now, I have Pokemon Y right here. I actually pre-ordered this version without doing solid, in-depth research about which version between X and Y to get. Last Thursday, I looked at some online polls on which version people will get. Most of them depicted that people who will get this new Pokemon game prefer X over Y. I think this has to do mainly with the featured legendary Pokemon and the new fairy type of Pokemon. Fairy types are strong against dark types, therefore the fairy type Xerneas of X has a clear advantage over the dark and flying type Yveltal of Y. And according to one person who took the October 8th poll for official Nintendo magazine complimenting Xerneas, its design is beautiful and the whole forest theme just seems more appealing than boring sky. Another pollie added that there is something about the mystical air of Xerneas that really attracts him. He went on saying that he is also looking forward to the X exclusive versions of Mega Mewtwo and Mega Charizard. But that's beside the point. I think I know what the problem here is. I'm not a truly dedicated Pokemon fan. Therefore, I did not research hard enough to realize that more people would choose Pokemon X over Pokemon Y. Then again, it's just what I know about the sales so far. You know what's funny? This is how I thought Pokemon Y would be the better version this time around. Notice how Pokemon games are mentioned when you talk about them in pairs. Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl, and Black and White, right? In most cases, the second version mentioned in each pair turns out to be the more popular and better version between the two. So I thought that would justify and help predict that more people will choose Y over X. Then again, I said most because this is just a ridiculous assumption with no real evidence to back it up. How about a more substantial theory? You know what the real reason why a certain version in each generation is more popular than the other? How else? Sales! Since Pokemon's fanbase spans across the globe, you can expect dedicated Pokemon fans in almost every part of the world. I'm sure that these dedicated fans have researched each of these generations of Pokemon games before choosing which one to get. And that this is also the case for more fans choosing X over Y. But at the end of the day, I really shouldn't be worried. Some of the people that I tagged with on Street Pass in fact did have Pokemon Y, so now I don't have anything to complain about. Well, then again, there is one more thing that I want to let off my chest. The game is so freaking huge to download. If you don't believe me, here, see, look at this. 13,799 blocks to download. The main reason why I downloaded it for my 3DS is because just like Brain Age and Animal Crossing New Leaf, since I'm going to be spending so much time on Pokemon Y, then I should be able to have it at my convenience. But since the download takes up so much storage space, I was so nervous that since I paid off the price for a GameStop download code, they wouldn't let me get the retail version. I went to pick up the download code from GameStop the day Pokemon X and Y was released. Lo and behold, they gave me the option to exchange my download code for a retail copy. I had my debit card with me, but I thought that they would not let me the game if I didn't have enough money with me. I was so stressed at that point that I overlooked the fact that I just used my card to pay off the extra $2 and something cents that the retail copy called for. So I ended up with a Pokemon Y download code, and that night, I only had like 6,000 blocks left on my 4GB SD card, so I had to transfer all of my 3DS data onto an 8GB SD card. This is when it really got crazy. I've been trying all that day to transfer the data, but the SD card wouldn't let me for some reason. I contacted SanDisk support by email, and it said that a response would come back in 24 to 48 hours. I can't wait that long. I have a Pokemon game to get into. So then I messaged my friend Alastair on Facebook about my problem. It turns out that he was able to fix the problem that night, and I was able to transfer my 3DS data and finally download my copy of Pokemon Y. But anyway, if you want any technical help for your PC or Mac, there will be a link in the description that will take you to the website that Alastair helped me through. I'll also put another link in the description so you can follow him on Twitter too. Now that that's out of the way, I'm enjoying the game, and it's certainly a joy to see Pokemon from previous generations early in the game. I got a Pikachu, a Pidgey, a Caterpie that evolved into a Metapod, Torchic with a Mega Evolution Stone from Mystery Gift, a Weedle, Pansage, Panpour, and Pansear. But I also feel scarred for life knowing that I have a whopping 13,000 plus block Pokemon game downloaded on my 3DS. Looks like less room for other games I want to download for my 3DS. I will say right now, I will be sure to research these things first. Now let's hear from you guys. Does getting the better Pokemon RPG game matter? Do you have or will get the Pokemon X and Y games? Which generations of Pokemon are your favorite, and what do you hope for Pokemon to do next? Answer your questions by leaving comments down below, and be sure to follow me on Twitter for when I make new videos. Speaking of which, if you guys could do me a favor, get the word out about my upcoming special, The Big 3, where I review my top 3 Wii games of all time. Get this trending on Twitter, Instagram, Vine, whatever. Hashtag Big3Wii and spread the word. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace!